days, maybe even a day after reports surfaced that Shannon Sharpe may get $100+ million deal for his content with his podcast network, here comes Tony Buzbee. Now, does that name, ring a bell? If you don't know who he is, he's the same lawyer that filed a very weak ass lawsuit against Jay Z that had to get dismissed. The lawsuit was so weak and so poorly vetted, he is currently still facing an extortion lawsuit from Jay Z himself because obviously it did not happen. So they had to dismiss those claims with prejudice from another anonymous Jane Doe, and that case is now done. But Jay Z's not gonna stop with his lawsuit. So cut to the day. There is a federal lawsuit that's being filed in Nevada, and it is against Shannon Sharpe, and it is from another Jane Doe. Now, what's really key and important here, Shannon Sharpe and his attorney has already named the person in their statement. You will not have anonymity. We know exactly who you are, and they've already outed the person who this plaintiff is, and they've named this as a shakedown, as another one of those lawsuits to try to get money. Now, there's a lot of places we're gonna start, but I just want to start here with Tony Buzbee. It seems that he makes his money going after high profile black athletes or black entertainers. This is just seems to be a pattern with very not concrete details, but looking to maybe get a settlement. To me, this is how he's funding his lifestyle. But I mean, if that's what you want to do, okay, whatever, bro. I just want to make sure this is outed because he's the same attorney that did the Deshaun Watson stuff that never went to trial, also settled. This is the same attorney, like I said, is did the Jay Z thing with an anonymous complaint with all Jane Does, and now he has another Jane Doe complaint against Shannon Sharpe. So in this particular case, we got a lot of things to go over. Tony Buzbee released a statement, plus filed a lawsuit in Nevada. They Shannon Sharpe has released a statement. So we're gonna go from one thing to another, but just bear with me. I just want to set up the case because what's being alleged is a lot of intimidation, a lot of sexual assault, a lot of things that aren't as easy to digest. So what happened is Shannon met this Jane Doe, but he's named her as Gabriella. Gabriella and him met in 2023. She was apparently 20 years old. From the lawsuit, it says that they met in a gym. And from that point on, he pursued her until a consensual relationship occurred. They admit that into the court's paperwork. A consensual relationship between the two started. And from there, not only was she there with him going to his house in California, she also moved with him to Vegas. So where they continue to have their relationship. Now, they are not hiding that whatsoever, but they're saying not each and every time that they were together was consensual. That's essentially what they're saying. And in some of those cases, he forced himself on her. And, for what it's worth, I'm just saying I would have a whole lot more respect for the lawsuit if it had unspecified damages. It seems to me that $100 million, you divide that by two, it's $50 million. And I just want to know, just in my head, why didn't you go to police if that was the case? Why are you filing a civil lawsuit? And why are you doing a civil lawsuit for that specific amount? You didn't put no content out. I don't remember you on Nightcap. I don't remember you having a Club Shay Shay interview. I don't think you're putting out their graphics. So why $50 million? It's just mind boggling. But all right, we'll just move on. In a statement that Tony Buzbee said, he said, "I'm extremely proud to represent Jane Doe. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court." Late last night, the Buzbee law firm filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of a brave young woman who alleges she was brutally assaulted by a former NFL player, Shannon Sharpe, on multiple occasions. The last incident occurred in January 2025. The lawsuit, under the pseudonym Jane Doe, lays out a pattern of intimidation, manipulation, and abuse, including allegations that Sharpe repeatedly threatened to assault Jane Doe. The case seeks $50 million in damages. The case is on file in Department 11, state court. I might have said federal court earlier, but it's a state court case. The county where the alleged conduct occurred, the egregious and concerning facts of the case are set forth in detail in the public filing. Da 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 da. So, with that being said, again, just backing up, they met. She was 20. I know there's a big age gap there, but they are admitting it's a consensual relationship. And throughout that time, there are some times where she was intimidated, and sometimes that she was forced upon to do things. And I'm not trying to take those kind of allegations lightly. However, they have not, from what they've said in what we've been able to research, they have not gone to the police department where the allegations occurred, but they have gone down to the civil courthouse where the allegations concerned, where the allegations have happened, and asked for $50 million. You got $100 million coming. Hey, 50 mil. Okay. All right. Well, a few hours went by. Big thing. This is a big story. People are going back and forth talking about it. But Shannon Sharpe comes out of nowhere and just essentially says he's going to fight this lawsuit, and he knew about it. He's ready to go through it. He doesn't care that this is a public thing. He doesn't care that this might affect his deal. He put out a statement with his attorney, and it's his attorney statement by Lanny J. Davis. He says, I want you to put a dog collar. He quotes the text messages that Gabriella Zuniga sent to Shannon Sharpe. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're having intercourse with me. I know you missed this big juicy rear, and she quotes $25,000 for each cheek. That was sent to Shannon Sharpe on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2025. All right, and that was sent at 9:50 p.m. Well, let me tell you something. When I read, I know you missed this big juicy rear for $25K for each cheek. That's a quote, okay? That's not a joke. That's a quote, okay? That's an invoice. It seems to me that that was an agreed upon price that she may have put on her services, and that's what I had read out of that text message. And it seems to me that this is a consensual, monetary related relationship just from the onset. Could be wrong, but that's what it looks like, and it looks like you're in that life. But hey, let's continue. This lawsuit, filed by Gabriella and orchestrated by her attorney Tony Buzbee, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Gabriella presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Gabriella has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we are releasing several of Gabriella's own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to the allegations she makes in her lawsuit, consensual intercourse continued until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek, as quoted from her text message to Mr. Sharpe. There are other examples of texts from Gabriella, for example. Now, what I'm going to read next is a big graphic. I may just jump over words. I'm just letting you know. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever you want me to. That was sent on November 23rd, 2023. She says that I want to do something to you and then marry you. Then another one, January 2024. It seems she loves the new year. I want you to put a baby in me. Now, I don't like any of this graphic nature as far as what she's saying. It comes off very racial in nature. I mean, I do agree with a lot of folks that why are you letting someone talk to you like that? I mean, everybody has their own, bedroom manner. But that definitely, she doesn't strike me as a person of our community. And for her to be talking like that, it just seems to me that it's I know I wouldn't appreciate it. She wouldn't be talking to me like that. You better crave it because you're gonna be stuck with it for life after you put, again, a baby in me. Now that's quote unquote. She's already said you need to put $25,000 per cheek. So I don't even know what that means. Is that half off? I don't know what's going on. And then you say, "Hey, you need to put a baby in me." Like that. That's a payment plan. That sounds like the women that target Anthony Edwards and Zion Williamson and other people like that. Is that what's going on here? Because it seems to be that's what it looks like. That you knew who this person was. You know that this person has access to financial, a lot of money, a lot of financial access, and you're begging for a baby. Okay. Let's see. These messages are just a sampling of the broader pattern of graphic communications initiated by Gabriella. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role playing, language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Gabriella. Now, really quick, Shannon, you out there bad, man. You gotta really look. Like, I see why you're so guarded. I see it. I can understand it. But man, you're allowing these people to do all these things, and they've asked for money after they've recorded some kind of thing that y'all were doing, some fantasy, and now they're presenting it as, oh, this may not be consensual. You got to be careful what you put. You're recording. You already had your IG live incident, but that's neither here nor there. But okay, the edited tape that Gabriella secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe during her blackmail attempts tried to falsely portray, as a result of this editing and out of context from prior text messages, that the activity was not consensual. But Mr. Sharpe now believes her secret taping was all a part of her planned setup, part of her blackmail scheme, as distorted by her edited tape, a copy of which she refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of assault, and will not submit what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts of law. That is in statement. Now, if you remember, he went all the way with Brett Favre. Brett Favre tried to sue him for defamation, and he was not about to settle that, and it got dismissed. He will take these cases to conclusion. So Mr. Buzbee, I've never seen you at court. I've always seen you on a press conference. So if you or anybody else in your that you have on the docket, yeah, I do believe y'all going to have to be ready to bring this to trial. They're going to file all the motions, and I'm sure from what he says, has nothing to hide, and he is fully prepared for the video to be released. He's okay. He's already lived through the IG live. I think he's saying he's built for it, and he's built to see his day in court. So I just take that for what it's worth. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. It just looks like a targeted scheme. She got him wrapped around her finger and was able to do all these crazy things that he bought into because that's what he's into. And now they've heavily edited her tape, and instead of paying $50 million, he's decided to fight it. And honestly, I don't blame him. I just think that it's unfortunate. I think that that's what happens when you date people that don't have your best interest. And it's hard to think, oh, this person has my best interest when they're 30 years younger than you. It doesn't make any sense as far as that goes. Of course, this person doesn't care about you. Of course, this person is trying to set you up. Of course, this person will take any availability to text you these crazy things and then send you prices and then say, hey, can you make me a baby mama so I presumably don't have to work anymore? You're a professional athlete, so you've definitely seen these things before. So in my head, I'm just thinking, how? Heritage Sports.